Hello, football fans. Welcome to Aces Field. And if it looks a little more bright and sunshiny than usual, there is a reason for that. We are here a little earlier than we normally would be because this is not varsity football taking place this afternoon. We've got a bit of a treat for you. We always try every school year to get coverage on the air for some of the other football squads for the Aces. And today it worked out that our schedule allowed us to be here this afternoon for some junior high football action as the Aces are hosting the Tinora Rams here at Aces Field this afternoon. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Chris Warner is here with us running the camera, and we're going to bring you coverage and play-by-play for the junior high game this afternoon. Of course, it's a lower level of football, so we're not going to see quite the quality of play we're used to with varsity action. And it won't be as long a game either. The quarters on the junior high level are only 8 minutes in duration. Also let you know that while we do have a roster for the Aces players, we do not have one for the Rams, so we will only be referring to the Tinora players by their numbers. Aces on offense first, put a man in motion, pitch out. Their quarterback is number 12, and that's Aaron Klima. You'll have to forgive me. It might take me a minute. I'm not used to this roster, and they don't have them in numerical order. So Aaron Klima is their quarterback. He's wearing number 12, and we'll fill in names and numbers as we go along. We do want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's always kind of fun, again, to see the younger kids playing some football. Split backs behind Klima. Number 5 is Justin West. Klima hands it off to West. He dives forward. Not much there, so after the opening play loses them about 5 yards, they lose another 2, and that brings up a third and about 17 for the Aces. As always, Aces football on Hicksville Community Television, underwritten by the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. And by Community Memorial Hospital of Hicksville, celebrating 65 years of service to the Hicksville area, online at cmhosp.com. Pitch back. Ball carried by Brody Balzer. He's number 13. Balzer tries to get around the corner and does not, and he gets dropped for another loss. So the Aces on this first possession going in the wrong direction. They've gone from a 1st and 10 to a 4th and 19. And that'll bring out the punting squad. Number 2 is dropping back, whom I do not have on my roster. He's the punter. And looking to see if Chris recognizes him, but I'm not getting any indication from him. Ball is in the air. Caught by number 11 for the Rams. He advances the ball across the 35, the 30, across the 35 and brought down at about the 33-yard line. A yellow flag on the play. So we're going to have a penalty. It was thrown behind the receiving team as they were working upfield. It's going to be a hold against the Rams, so that'll back them up. So after a 3 and out to get the game started for the Aces, the Rams get the punt, and they have a decent return, and even with the hold that's going to back them up, they still won't have not too bad of a field position. From the spot of the foul, they'll back it up 10 yards, and that's going to put it on the Rams' 48-yard line. 5:38 to go in our opening quarter. Again, glad to have you with us for junior high football on what is a Tuesday afternoon in September here on HIX-TV. Our first look at the Tinora Rams junior high offensive unit this afternoon. Man in motion for the Rams. That's number 11. Their quarterback, number 2. Quick handoff up the middle. And powering forward with a good gain of about 8 yards. I don't know his name. I don't have a roster. But Rams pick up 8. That'll bring it 2nd and 2. Their quarterback working under center. Another handoff and another handoff and another nice run right up the spout. Number 29 barrels forward down to about the 35-yard line of the Aces. That'll move the chains and give Tinora a fresh set of downs. Of course, our next Aces varsity football coverage will be coming up on this Friday. The Aces on the road at Ayersville. And looking forward to going back. I haven't been to Ayersville for a while. It's going to be my first trip there since they completed all their new school construction and work in the parking lot or whatever. So be interesting to see what it's like now that it's all done. Nice handoff, and he's got some running room. Number 32 for the Rams. Nobody's going to catch him. He's off to the races and into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Nice handoff, and he got around the corner and broke through the secondary, and there was nothing ahead of him but green grass. He turned on the jets and romps into the end zone. Put the Rams up 6-0 with 4:03 left to go in our opening quarter. And we'll see, it looks like they're going to go for 2 on the extra point conversion, which is not unusual at this level. Their quarterback, number 2, drops back, looks over, has got a man wide open, and it's caught, and the 2-point conversion succeeds. So that'll make it 8-0 Rams. Again, 4:03 left to go in our opening quarter, as the Aces will try to regroup and get ready to go back on offense. Again, I want to say a big thank you to Junior High Athletic Director Lucas Smith, who is the varsity coach, but also oversees the AD duties for the junior high school, and sent me as best he could a roster for today's game. And there are a couple of numbers that we don't have names for, but we'll get by as best we can, and maybe we'll see if we can fill in some of those blanks after halftime. If not, we'll see about getting a more complete roster for the next junior high game we're able to cover, and hopefully we'll be able to get another one in before the season wraps up. But we're glad to be here at least one time. Our cameraman is a 7th grader himself, so he's been anxious to root on his classmates all day. Aces back on offense. Dropping back to throw. Ball is in the air. It's got a man open, and it's right through the arms. Intended receiver number 2, who, again, is one of the few players that we don't have on our roster. So they'll march it back, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Looking good in their home reds on this sunny afternoon. Wonderful day here today. Sun is shining. It's fairly mild. We understand that may change as we move through the weekend, especially if the hurricane hits on the East Coast and barrels up towards our neck of the woods with some tropical moisture. But we'll worry about that as we get a little closer to the weekend. Klima sets his offense. Takes the snap. Hands off. That's to Balzer. Balzer powers forward and gets maybe a yard. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
I just lost all audio.
So a loss on the play. That'll bring up another 4th down and another punt for the Aces. So the Rams will get ready to get back on offense here. 2:50 left in our opening quarter. Low snap scooped up by number 2. He's not going to be able to catch it. He's off to the races and tries to get what he can. He'll be brought down. He won't even make it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be another loss on 4th down, so the Rams are going to take over on downs, and they're going to be in really good shape as far as their field position, as they're going to be on about the 28-yard line with a 1st and 10. So offensively, a kind of a slow start to get things underway for the Aces here this afternoon. Rams up 8-0, and they take over on downs in excellent field position. So they'll bring in the play from the sideline and break huddle. And here we'll go. Their quarterback wears number 2, works under center. Handoff. That's to big number 29, and he is in the end zone. So number 29 just carves his way right through the Aces defense and goes into the end zone. Touchdown for the Rams, and that makes it 14-0, and they'll get ready for another 2-point conversion attempt, I'm guessing. So the Aces defense all over the map on that last play, and they just got caught unawares. And the Rams were off to the races and into the end zone before the Aces really knew just what was going on. 2-point conversion. Again, number 2 dropping back, looking to throw. Doesn't see anybody. He's going for the corner, and he makes it in. No receivers were open for their quarterback. So he held on to the ball and did an end-around sweep, managed to cross the plane near the corner. The 2-point conversion is a success, and that increases the score now 16-0. The Aces find themselves on the short end, and they still have over 2.5 minutes to go in our opening quarter. So the Aces needing to regroup and get something going for themselves offensively here. Rams will break huddle. Aces will have the ball on the 35-yard line. Again, this is a junior high game, so there aren't any kickoffs or returns after a score. Aces back on offense. Klima. Low snap, drops back, gets the ball away, and it goes between his 2 intended receivers. Number 4 is Ashton Sentel, and number 13, Brody Balzer out there. And the ball kind of split the difference between the two of them and falls to the turf. So the Aces face now with a 2nd and 10. They'll break huddle once again. Clock stops on the incomplete pass with 2:29 to go in our opening quarter. Klima working out of the shotgun. He's got a wide receiver out on either side. Nice snap. Handoff right up the middle. A little bit of a hole, but it closed up quickly. And the Aces pick up maybe a yard to make it 3rd and 9. And we've got a Hicksville player on the turf. That's Lincoln Yoder, number 64. Not sure if he's got a cramp or if he pulled something. Training staff will go out to take a look at Lincoln. We'll say another big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters, Community Memorial Hospital in Hicksville. We want to thank them so very much for them coming on board as an Aces Sports underwriter for our HIX-TV coverage this school year. And, of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford here in Hicksville. Jim Schmidt's family of dealerships and Community Memorial Hospital, again, underwriting not only football, but all of our Aces Sports broadcasts for the 2018-19 school year here on HIX-TV. So Yoder up and slowly making his way off the field. And he's favoring his right leg a little bit. So they'll get him over to the sideline and see if he can get it walked off. Aces back out onto the field. Again, wide receiver on either side and 3 backs behind Klima. 3rd and 9. Klima pitch back to number 2, and it bounced off of his chest. Hit the turf. He was able to grab it, but the botched exchange results in another big loss for the Aces, and another look at the punting squad as they lose 11 on the play. Minute 43 to go, clock rolling, and number 2, it looks like he banged up his elbow on that last play, drops back to handle the punting chores. Number 11, the deep man for the Rams. High snap. It's caught on the alley-oop, and they're going to fake it. And he almost loses. He does lose the ball. It's loose on the turf. Recovered by the Aces, but it's going to be another turnover on downs in excellent field position for the Rams. As the Aces ball handling in this last couple of plays has not been the best. But it's like we said at the start of the broadcast, we're watching junior high football, so they're only 7th and 8th graders. They've got a long way to go before they're able to play at the varsity level. They're out there doing their best. They're having a good time. Good crowd that made the trip over from Ram Country over on the visitors' side. And now we've got a few of the Aces faithful over here on our side of the field. Rams back on offense as we're getting ready to close out our opening quarter. Another handoff, and this time they wrap him up and bring him down for about a 2-yard, maybe 3-yard gain. Get up to the 15. That'll be a gain. We'll give him a couple on that one. Make it 2nd and 8 for the Rams. Clock goes under a minute. Rams will break huddle. 40 seconds and counting. Should be down to about half a minute left by the time the ball gets snapped. Going to work out of the shotgun. Low snap. Number 2, their quarterback scoops it up off the turf. He's off to the races, and he beats the defender around the corner and strolls into the end zone for another score. Rams will go up now 22-0. 20 seconds left. As nothing is happening to alleviate the pain for the Aces here this afternoon, the Rams are taking it to them and looking to see if they can successfully complete another two-point conversion to go up 24-0. Rams quarterback, number 2, split backs behind him. Drops back to throw over the middle and almost intercepted by the Aces. Knocked to the turf, no good. So the Aces break up the two-point conversion this time around. And that leaves the score at 22-0 Tinora. So the Aces ready to go back on offense. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line, and so far they have not been able to get anything going offensively. They might have time for a play before they roll over into quarter number 2. So the Rams are ready to go back on defense, and here come the Aces. Again, it'll be 1st and 10, Hicksville at their own 35-yard line. Number 12, Aaron Klima, the quarterback. He'll have 2 wide receivers, one out on either side, split backs behind him. Low snap, quick handoff, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That was Balzer, number 13, with the carry. Lost about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So we've played the first 8 minutes in this junior high game, and after one, it's the Tinora Rams leading the Hicksville Aces 22-0, our first quarter score. We'll take a quick break on the field, get ready to switch sides and get the second quarter underway, and that'll give me time to say a big thank you to our HIX-TV football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford, of course, also online at jimschmidtauto.com. If you're in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that is brand new or pre-owned, to be it a car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by, check out the great selection that they have on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, or go online, jimschmidtauto.com. You can check out the entire dealer inventory, and if you don't see what it is you're looking for, let the folks at Jim Schmidt know. They always do their best to find you exactly the vehicle that you are interested in. And also a big thank you to Community Memorial Hospital right here in Hicksville, Ohio. Community Memorial Hospital in 2018 celebrating 65 years serving the healthcare needs of the Hicksville area. We are so proud of them and so proud to have them as one of our broadcast underwriters. There's lots of neat stuff going on, and we invite you to, if you see anything happening at CMH, stop by, check them out. And you can find out more on their website, which is www.cmhosp.com, cmhosp.com. I want to thank them for their continued underwriting support as well. All right, quarter number 2, 8 minutes on the scoreboard. And here we go. Aces are down 22-0. And they're looking at a 2nd and 11 ball at their own 34-yard line. Klima, low snap, drops back to throw. He's airing it out, and it's going to be up for grabs. It was going to be a battle between Balzer and number 29 for the Rams. And neither of them able to get control of that football. It hits the turf, incomplete. And brings up 3rd and 11. Clock stops. Only 5 seconds expire from the second quarter clock. So here come the Aces, a 3rd and long. Klima pitches it out. Balzer not able to make it back to, well, he looks like he might have made it back to the line of scrimmage to bring up 4th down. And it looks like the Aces are going to need to punt once more. We'll see what the decision is. It's a 4th and 11. The ball on the Aces 34-yard line. Their punter, number 2. I'm not sure what his name is. He's not on the roster that we were provided. And we'll see what happens. Aces had some problems with the long snap. They get it off this time. And not a bad punt. Comes down at about the 42-yard line. Number 11 makes the grab for the Rams. He takes it across midfield, and he'll be brought down about the Aces' 48-yard line. And that's where Tinora will set up shop, 1st and 10. We'll see where they officially mark it. It looks like it might be, yeah, I'd say it's about the 47, 48-yard line. They got 48 on the scoreboard. That'll work. So 6:54 left in the half. And the Rams back on offense. Again, pretty good field position, as the Aces just have not been able to get anything going offensively. Not much in the way of positive yardage at all so far in the game. And they have yet to be able to really flip the field on the Rams here. So the Rams set for offense. Handoff. That's to their number 2, who switched out quarterbacking with number 11. So number 11 took over at quarterback, handed off to number 2, who had been doing the quarterbacking until that play. And he gets a good solid run to move the chains, as they'll take the ball all the way down to about the 32-yard line of the Aces, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Tinora huddling things up. And here we go. And it looks like number 11 is going to stay in at the QB position for Tinora. He'll take the snap, and another handoff to number 2, and another nice run from him as he finally gets pushed out of bounds about the 15-yard line. Had a nice stiff arm going there, holding off the Aces defenders, but they finally get him out of bounds at the 15. Clock stops at 5:47 with the out-of-bounds play. So we'll get ready to get things reset here. Tinora up 22-0. And they'll break huddle and come up to the line. Number 11 hanging on to the ball himself, rolling out, heading for the end zone, and they're going to bring him down at about the 2-yard line. Quarterback keeper, and he was trying to make it to pay dirt, but gets brought up a little bit short, but that will move the chains, and it'll be a 1st and goal for the Rams with the ball just outside the 1-yard line. So the Aces defense is going to have to show their stuff here. The Rams got 4 chances to punch it in from a little over a yard out. All set. Number 11 working under center. And a flag on the play. Looks like they might have got off a little bit early. So they'll back him up 5 on the false start. That'll make it 2nd and goal. Ball now on the 6-yard line. Rams taking their time in the huddle, letting a few more seconds tick off of our second quarter clock. And their quarterback, number 11, under center, is going to take it right up the spout and into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Quarterback keeper, he got a nice block, opened up a seam, and he was able to shoot right through into the end zone. That'll make it 28-0. And the Rams will look for another conversion, most likely a 2-pointer, to see if they can take it up to 30-0. As the Aces have been blitzed here early on in this first half of action. Rams break huddle as they get set for the 2-point attempt. Rolling out number 11. Easy toss caught by number 29, and the 2-point conversion is successful. That'll make it 30-0 Rams, with 4:17 left to go here in the opening half of this junior high football game. Aces will get the ball back. They'll have it on their own 35-yard line. As I said, so far, their offense has been lacking on this Tuesday afternoon. So now would be a good time to get the juices flowing here and get the engine firing on all cylinders and get something going offensively. I want to take some time, too, to say a big thank you again to the athletic department here at Hicksville and the junior high, the athletic director, Coach Lucas Smith, and, of course, Jeff Hott, Paul Overmeyer, the ADs for the senior high school. But just a great facility, and always a pleasure to be here. We want to thank them so very much for, again, providing us with our excellent space here. And whether we're here for a varsity game or for a junior high game, whatever, always have everything we need, and we're all well taken care of. So we can't thank them enough for their help and their continued support of Hicksville Community Television. Appreciate it an awful lot. Klima dropping back to throw. He's got it in the air. Not quite enough on it. Went up, but it wasn't spiraling, so it didn't have that parabolic arc. It sort of stalled and fell to the turf. He had a man open. Wasn't able to get back to the ball in time. 2nd and 10. First train of the afternoon going by. Aces will break huddle. It's a 2nd and 10 for Hicksville on their own 35-yard line. Looking to get something going here in this junior high game. Klima takes the snap, and he's going to get sacked back at about the 25-yard line. The Rams brought the house that time. An all-out blitz, and they swarmed the quarterback down at the 25-yard line. That'll be a loss of about, well, they're actually going to say that his knee went down at about the 26. So loss of 9. That'll bring it 3rd and 19. So the Aces still not able to dig themselves out of the hole offensively. Klima checks over at the sideline and comes back into the huddle with the play. Klima working out of the shotgun, takes a snap, drops back to throw. Quick hitter over the middle. That's caught by number 5. Nice run. Number 5 gets them the first down. A nice carry by Justin West, as West moves the chains for the first time this afternoon for the Aces. As Hicksville gets it going offensively. And we're going to have a flag and an infraction at the end of the play. I did not see what the indication is. Well, they're tacking on an extra 15 yards, so must have been some sort of a personal foul, whether it was a face mask or a clip or whatever. I did not see the indication from the official. But a foul on the Rams moves the ball forward another 15. And so the Aces find themselves at the Tinora 38-yard line with 1st and 10. The best offensive drive of the game so far, and the deepest penetration they have had, first time they've crossed the 50-yard line to get into Ram territory. So looking to keep things going here. Klima working out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers out. Low snap. Klima picks it up. Balzer makes the grab. Balzer battling for some positive yardage. Not going to happen. Forward progress. So you think he made it back to the original line of scrimmage. So that should make it 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Balzer made the catch, and man, he was trying to break free and get some yardage down the field. Just not able to shake the Ram defender. They're going to actually say he lost about a half a yard, so officially this will be 2nd down and 11. So it's really 2nd down and about 10 and a half. Aces break huddle. Klima, another roller on the turf, picks it up, caught, Balzer, and that should be close to 1st down yardage as Brody Balzer with another catch. And they will indeed move the chains. Minute 13 to go in the half as the Aces, driving offensively, got the ball down to about the 26, 27-yard line. They're marking it officially at the 27. Minute 13 to go. And the Aces 27 yards away from getting that goose egg off their half of the scoreboard. Klima, nice snap this time. Ball high. Balzer tried to one-arm it, but not able to drag it down. Clock stops on the incompletion. Minute 9 to go in the half. And 2nd and 10 for the Aces. So here comes Hicksville. Not wanting to miss out on the opportunity that they have here. Low snap, scooped up. Klima, he's in trouble. And that time the Rams are able to get to him. The snaps have been kind of rolling along the turf, and it's taken away a second or so from Klima's response time, and sometimes that fraction of a second makes all the difference. And this time they're able to catch him in the backfield. They drop him for a loss all the way back to the 34-yard line, and that'll make it 3rd and long once again. 17 yards to go. The Aces have to get down to about the 17-yard line to move the chains. Low snap, drops, balls up in the air, and that's intercepted by the Rams. Number 31 picks it off, and it'll be Tenora's ball at about the 27, 28-yard line with 16 seconds left to go in the half. So Klima been hampered a little bit with some low snaps. And he's been doing the best job that he can, but again, putting it up, and this time the Rams were right there and able to snatch the ball. 16 seconds left in the half, and we'll see what the Rams want to do here. Neither team has taken a timeout, so both squads still have their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. Though at this point, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Rams were to just basically take a knee and let the clock run out and head into the halftime locker room. And now we're going to have a stoppage of play. And it looks like delay of game. So the Rams take too long. They run the play clock out. And so that'll be 1st and 15 for Tinora. Of course, we'll be taking a break at halftime. They don't have halftime entertainment at the junior high level, so Chris and I will just be able to sort of kick back and take it easy for about 10 minutes. We'll be back with all the second half play-by-play for you, of course. Rams, 16 seconds left before halftime. They are going to run at least one play. Number 2 with the ball. End around. Number 2 breaking out into the open. Number 2 has got one man to beat. And he's going to just run it all the way into the end zone. Time will expire. And the Rams will put 6 more on the scoreboard. They'll do the extra point conversion, and then it'll be halftime. No time left on the clock. So the Rams going from their own 27-yard line. That'd be about a 73-yard run into the end zone. So be some nice stat additions for some of the Ram junior high players as a result of this game. Ready to attempt a 2-point conversion and then head to the locker room for halftime. Rams, handoff. It's good. So with the successful 2-point conversion, our halftime score, it's the visiting Tinora Rams leading the Aces in this junior high football contest, 38-0. Our halftime score. It is halftime, so we're going to take a break, but we invite you to stay tuned. Chris and I will be back, and we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back to Aces Field as we are here for junior high football action on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm Bill Murphy for Hicksville Community Television. Chris Warner with me running the camera this afternoon. In case you're just joining us, we're at halftime. We're just wrapping it up, getting ready to get the third quarter underway. And after the first half of play, it's the visiting Tinora Rams leading the Aces by a lot, 38-0 the score. If this were a high school game, they would have the continuous clock going. I'm not sure whether they do that at the junior high level or not, so we'll have to sort of wait and see. Clock has started. The Rams have the ball to get the second half underway. Again, we do not have a roster for the Rams players, so we can only identify them by the number. Their quarterback number 2 makes the toss to number 29, who goes forward and falls down across the 45-yard line, which should be, well, they're going to mark it just shy, but they're going to still give him a first down. So 10 yards on a first down carry. Gets the Rams another first down. Clock still rolling, 7:19. If they do have the continuous clock, obviously, our second half could move very quickly because the clock will not stop, except in very, very limited circumstances. Low snap, but scooped up by their quarterback. He gets the ball, tucks it under. He's off to the races, working his way through traffic. Only got a couple guys to beat, and they finally corral him and bring him down inside the 30-yard line at about the 28, where it'll be another first down for the Rams. Tinora has been the dominant team here this afternoon, no doubt about it. The Aces really spent most of the first half just trying to get their offense up and running. They had very, very few positive yards until the last offensive stand that they had, with about a minute and a half to go before halftime. They had a nice play after a Rams score that there was a 15-yard personal foul at the end of that, so they had a really good field position and moved the ball down the field with a couple of first downs. Unfortunately, they did throw an interception down at about the 27-yard line, if I remember correctly, to turn the ball over and put an end to the drive. And the Rams came right back for their first play from scrimmage with about 7 seconds left on the clock. They scampered the length of the field and into the end zone. At that point, it had been 30-0, and they put another one in just to punctuate things. And that's why we're at 38-0 at halftime. They went into the end zone with no time left on the clock and had another successful two-point conversion. So the Aces need to get things going here. They'd like to put a stop on the Rams and get the ball back. Tinora has the ball, 1st and 10 from the Aces' 29-yard line. And the Rams take a timeout early on. So the timeout ends and the clock starts going right again. So they must be operating on a continuous clock, because normally they would wait and start the clock when the ball got snapped. So the Rams quarterback, number 2. We've also seen number 11 step in, but number 2 right now hands off to big number 79. He's rumbling forward, pushing guys out of his way, dragging about half of the defensive unit of the Aces with him as he gets first down yardage inside the 15-yard line. He's a large young man, number 79. And that's one of the things about, at the junior high level, there'll be some that are bigger than others, and he's got a lot of weight on him and used it to good effect that time. Another handoff, this time to number 58, it looks like. I can't tell if it's 58 or 56 from this angle, but he takes it into the end zone for another score for the Rams to make it 44-0. Clock continues to roll as the Rams get set to attempt another two-point conversion. After this, the Aces will get the ball back on their own 35-yard line. Hand off to big number 78, and he barrels into the end zone. And that'll make it 46-0 Rams. And they will stop the clock for the change of possession. So the Aces will come off the field. They're looking a little bit disheartened. They're taking kind of a beating here this afternoon. But they'll have a chance to get themselves redeemed a little bit. They'll go back on offense here for the first time in the second half. Ball will be placed right at the 35-yard line. And we'll see how Aaron Klima and company respond here. All right, here we go. They start the clock back up. Again, we've got the continuous clock rolling here in the second half. And the Aces, our first look at their offense here in quarter number 3. Aaron Klima, nice snap, quick throw, behind his intended receiver and incomplete. So they'll reset. And the ball goes back to the 35-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 10 for Hicksville. Aces will break huddle. Klima, low snap, but he manages to get the ball. Nice throw. Caught. First down yardage. Number 2 makes the grab, and he's, as we mentioned in the first quarter, or the first half, we do not have a name assigned to that number on the roster that we were provided, and I wasn't able to track anybody down at halftime that could fill in who he was for me. So we're still going to have to just call him by his number. But with the catch, the ball advances down to about the 47-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Hicksville. 2:35, and the clock continues to roll. Klima, clean snap, nice throw, and picked off. The intended receiver fell down. Number 11 for the Rams makes the grab. He's going to get wrangled down at about the 33-yard line. Got a hold of his jersey and threw him down. There's a flag on the play. And that's going to be defensive pass interference, they're saying. So we'll wait and see how this all scopes out. And we'll see whether that affects the possession. I don't think it will, but what do I know? So they're going to march the ball back to the Tinora 31-yard line. They've stopped the clock, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And it looks like the Aces are going to retain the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hicksville. So evidently the infraction occurred before the interception and voided it. So Klima, low snap. Pitches back to Balzer. Balzer around the corner. Balzer still on his feet, and he'll be knocked out of bounds inside the 20. As again, the Aces offense looking pretty good here early on in the second half. They'll say he's went all the way down to the 15-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Hicksville. Clock continues to roll. The Aces are going to have to score a couple of times to eliminate that continuous clock. Klima with the snap, pitches it back to Balzer. Balzer down to about the 10-yard line. You're going to mark him down, I think, at about the 11. So we'll say 2nd and 6. Pick up a 4 on the play. Klima gets the play from the sideline. Aces with a 2nd and 6. Just outside the 10-yard line. Klima, handoff. And Balzer powering across the 10-yard line, it looks like. We'll see when they disentangle everybody and pull them out of the pile where they place the ball. They've moved the marker down to about the 10-yard line. And we're going to have looks like a timeout on the field. So it's going to be 3rd down and around 5. And that's the end of the, it's not a timeout. It's the end of the 3rd quarter. I got caught up in the action, forgot about the continuous clock myself. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And after 3, it's the Rams leading the Aces 46-0. We'll get ready to switch ends of the field, and more time to say another thank you to our football broadcast underwriters. They are, of course, Community Memorial Hospital here in Hicksville, Ohio. In 2018, Community Memorial Hospital celebrating 65 years of serving the healthcare needs of the Hicksville area. Proud to be a part of the Hicksville community and proud to support Aces sports broadcasts here on Hicksville Community Television. We want to thank them so very much for their support. And also the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Ford, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, and of course online at jimschmidtauto.com. If you're in the market for a vehicle, if you need mechanical work done, service of any kind, they've got you covered at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships. Stop by either Jim Schmidt Ford or Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick in Hicksville, or you can check out everything about the dealerships, including the complete inventory. See what's on the lots, including the Jim Schmidt truck lot at jimschmidtauto.com. 8 minutes to go with the continuous clock. It's going to be moving right along here at Aces Field. Junior high football action in the Aces with a 3rd and 5 on the Rams 10-yard line. They would love to be able to put some points on the board and escape the shutout, but with the bad snap, Klima gets rocked back at about the 15-yard line. Looks like he might have got his bell rung a little bit. His teammates helping him up. Let's see if he shakes it off or if they bring him out. And Klima looks like he got pounded a bit, so they're going to help him off the field. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. For the Rams. So Tinora taking their time with the snap, handoff. It's number 31 with the carry. He beats one tackle, and then he's brought down by Balzer. And number 50, that's Gabriel Rodriguez, just across the 30-yard line. Excuse me, just across the 40-yard line at about the 41. They're going to put the nose of the football on the 42-yard line. And that'll be Rams ball, 1st and 10. Clock continues to roll, closing in on 6 minutes. And again, the Rams in no hurry. They've got the game well in hand. And they just want to run down the clock here and make sure nobody gets hurt. Said it's a junior high game, so, and that'll be a false start. Back them up 5. So the Rams jump ahead of the football, and they'll back up 5 yards, make it 1st and 15, moving back to the 37-yard line. Their quarterback, number 2, hands off to number 24. He cuts inside, finds a nice hole, wrapped up and brought down by Balzer, just shy of midfield. Call it the 48-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and about 3. A long 3. Quarterback number 2. 3 backs behind him. Nobody out wide. Rolling out. Going to hang on to it himself. 1st down yardage and more. Stiff arm, and he stays on his feet, and they bring him down inside the 30-yard line on the far side of the field. Clock will continue to roll. They'll move the sticks, and it'll be another 1st down for the Rams at about the 27-yard line. Under 4 minutes to go, so we're past the halfway point of our 4th and final quarter here this afternoon at Aces Field. And what has not been the best outing for the Aces junior high football squad. Hoping to be able to put a stop on the Rams here and get the ball back. Like I said, at least they can hopefully maybe escape the shutout. Well, we'll see. Rams with the ball and driving. Fresh set of downs for Tinora. Handoff, that's big number 79. And again, he just rumbles his way forward. And they finally get about 8 guys together who can jump on him and bring him down. He's a big guy. We'll see where they mark the ball. It's inside the 20. Looks to be about the 18-yard line. 2nd down and about 1. Rams looking to see if they can just keep the ball in their hands, keep working towards the Aces end zone, and see maybe they can run out the clock here. As they still fight their way. They finally bring him down, but it looks like not until after he gets inside the 5-yard line. So I'm thinking that we're going to have a 1st and goal for the Rams. We'll see where they mark the football. Looks to be about the 4-yard line from our vantage point. So 1st and goal for the Rams. Closing in on about 1.5 minutes. Ball on the 4-yard line. 1:40 and the clock rolling. Handoff. And that's big number 79 as he rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown Tinora. Makes it 52-0. I think they call that the last nail in the coffin there. Well, maybe not. If they get the 2-point conversion, that'll probably be the last nail in the coffin. .125 left in the game. Clock stopped for the conversion attempt. Hand off. Number 18 with the carry. Waiting for the officials. And it looks like he might have been stopped short. It was, no indication. So the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful. The score will remain 54-0. And they'll bring the ball out to the 35-yard line of the Hicksville Aces, where they'll take over on offense. With 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go. 3 timeouts. As the Aces will be 65 yards away from avoiding the shutout. And they won't have a lot of time to work with unless they use their timeouts to move the ball down the field and stop the clock. So the Rams break huddle first. And they'll head into their defensive positions. And the Aces come out. And Klima looks like he shook off the hit that got put on him. Well, we'll see if he's going to be back in the quarterback position. It looks like. Oh, no, maybe it'll be Balzer. Yep, Balzer takes the snap. Stiff arm. Brody back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. We'll go under a minute here. The clock rolling. So the Aces, depending on how much time they take here, may only get another play or so off. They'll break huddle. 40 seconds and the clock rolling, so it might be down to about 30 seconds left in the game when they finally snap the football. There's a snap. And again, Balzer just going to hang on to the ball himself, running towards us. Get some positive yardage out across the 40-yard line. And that may be the game. Well, he's going to be marked at about the 43-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and about 2. And that's the game. So the Aces take the ball out to their 42-yard line, and then time expires. And that is the ball game. Your final score here tonight, or I should say this afternoon in junior high football action, it's the Rams coming to Hicksville and going home victorious. They knock off the junior high Aces football squad 54-0, the final score. And it was just a rough outing for the Aces, really not able to get a lot going offensively at all in the first half, not till just before halftime. And the Rams hitting on all 4 cylinders. A good-looking junior high football team. Will give them credit where credit is due. They came to play, and they did just that. They took it right to the Aces on this Tuesday afternoon. That's going to wrap things up for our coverage. Again, a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, and online at jimschmidtauto.com, and also Community Memorial Hospital of Hicksville, and also online at cmhosp.com. I want to thank them for their continued support. Thank you once again to Hicksville Athletic Department and the Junior High Athletic Department, making sure that we are well taken care of up here in the press box. And thanks to you for tuning by and joining us. We hope you enjoyed our junior high football coverage. You just wish we had a little better result for you when all was said and done. That's going to do it for our junior high football coverage on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll wrap it up for Chris Warner running the camera this afternoon. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good afternoon and good sports.